In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the SumIf function and the CountIf function. Let's assume that we want to do a little comparison of how our outside salespeople are doing and our inside salespeople are doing. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use the SumIf function to start with. I'm going to type it so you can see basically how the formula is built. Equal SumIf, left parenthesis. You get a tooltip that pops up that's trying to help you with that formula. First thing you're going to do is you're going to pick the range that you want to do the SumIf on. So I'm looking at my outside and my inside, but it's basically my type field or that column. I highlight it, type a comma, and then I'm going to tell it the criteria. I'm going to type the criteria. I have to put quotation marks around it. The capitalization doesn't matter, but the quotes is important because Excel doesn't know what to do with words, so we need quotes around it. Third argument, so I'm going to type a comma to move to the third argument, and then it's asking what is it that you want to sum. So I'm going to highlight the information I want to sum, put a closing right parenthesis, hit enter, and it summed that particular column. I'm going to move on then and do inside sale, basically the same thing. Type equal SumIf, left parenthesis, go over and find the range, followed by a comma, put your criteria. This time I'm doing inside, and then a comma to move to the third argument, and again, what is it that you want to sum? Now highlight that information, closing right parenthesis, hit enter, and I've got a SumIf for my inside sales. I'm going to move down to full-time and part-time. Let's say that I wanted to do a count of some information in a list that I have. I want to count up how many full-time, want to count up how many part-time. I don't want to manually go through and have to count these one by one. So I have to use the CountIf because I've got text in this field. If I had a numeric field, I could use the count function to count up how many entries have been made. With text, you have to use CountIf. So I'm going to type equal CountIf in a left parenthesis. Notice again, tooltip, picking out the range for me. So I'm going to highlight my status. I'm going to type a comma. And then I'm going to, in quotation marks, I'm going to type full. And I do have a space in it, so I type that in, full-time, quote, and then right parenthesis. Hit enter, and it's going to go through and it very quickly counts. Now if you had a great big list of 3,000 records, it's about that quick too. It's just going to go through and count that information for you. I'm going to do the same thing for part-time. I'm going to do a CountIf again. I'm going to do highlight the range where I want to count, type a comma, tell it what I want to count. I'm going to do part-time and right parenthesis and hit enter, and we have a count of our part-time sales.